Hi, euphoniums. Mr. Y here, obviously, with the A flat scale this week. We started this a couple of weeks back. We did number one and two. If you're not quite sure about number one and two yet, you want to do that before you do this, because today we're going to talk about three, four, and five. One and two are fairly easy. Number one was just the scale going up and then down with the arpeggio. Number two is the triplet thing in 6/8 time. The 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Pretty easy. But if you don't have those two down, you're going to have a lot of trouble with 3, 4, and 5. This is the same kind of pattern we've done on all the other scale sheets that we've done so far. So it's nothing unusual. Remember, always, always, always check your key signature. In this case, you've got four flats. Count them, four. Okay, B, E, A, and D. Hey, they spell a word. Amazing. So the B flat we're pretty normal at, of course. No vowels for that one. The E flat, of course, first valve. Okay, for that one when you get to E. The third flat is A flat, which is also first valve when you have an A, either a low A or a high A, which we do have both of in this case because it's the A flat concert scale. The bottom A is going to be A flat. Also, the top A is going to be A flat. So you've got first valve on those. The fourth flat in this case is the D flat. Remember, D flat is 2 and 3 on the valves. Okay, I'm going to, by the way, do this with only 3 valves, not my fourth. If you do have a fourth valve, we can talk about that another time if you want to, or whatever like that. But in this case, there's not too much that changes, really. The C changes to C, but other than that, it's all really the same. So not a big deal in this case. Okay, so like I said, on these, you're going to want to take it slow, super slow motion at first. You're going to want to break it up and focus your energy. Do little bits at a time. If you're having trouble with, say just 2 notes. Number 3, you could start with just the first 2 notes, for instance. Get those 2 really good, and then add the third one up. Once you get that, add the fourth. Being careful, of course, of the D flat, 2 and 3. Then add, more. You do that one low G there at the end, okay, first and second valve for that one. You do also have one high B flat toward the middle of the scale, but that's normal. You know that one pretty well. Okay, and again, really the toughest notes in this case are maybe the A flat first valve, low and high, and the D flat, really. Those are going to be the 2 weird notes. The B flat and E flat you're used to because your friend from 4th grade, Mr. B flat Concert, had that in the key signature. So really the only 2 flats you have to worry about are the A flat and the E flat, and the D flat, sorry. Okay, so that was number 3. Number 4, we do have the same notes of the scale, but this time you've got some articulation to worry about. Okay, so on the beginning of number 4, the first line, you've got 2 notes slurred and then 2 notes staccato. So T-ya-ta-ta, T-ya-ta, T-ya-ta-ta, T-ya-ta is the pattern there. On the second line, it comes backwards, comes back down the scale, and it changes that way also. It goes backwards. You've got the 2 staccatos first, and then the 2 slurs. So ta-ta-ti-ya-ta-ta-ta-ta-ta-ti-ya-ta-ta-ta. Do make sure you get those right. Of course, if you need to do them without the staccatos and slurs at first, just to get the fingerings down, that'd be totally fine. You could do that until you get it really good. Then add in the slurs and staccatos. Okay? I'm going to do it just the way it's written right now, of course, because I do have it down. Remember, though, if you need to focus on a trouble spot, focus your energy, find that trouble spot, do it a whole bunch of times, that kind of thing. That's what you need to do in this kind of thing. Okay? Number 4. Remember, on these 2, you can go as fast or slow as you want to, as long as they're steady. You don't have to go that fast. You could go faster if you wanted to, too, but you don't have to go any particular speed. Just make sure it's all one steady speed. Okay? Number 5. We do have a couple of different notes in number 5 because it's kind of the chromatic version of the scale. Most of them are all the same, but there are a few extra, accidentals here, some naturals and one sharp. So very beginning, remember you've got the A, G, A, C, B. You've got an A natural in the first measure of number 5. Remember, A natural is your middle valve, not your first valve. Okay, all the other A's in that measure are flat, but there is one A natural middle valve there too. In the second measure, you've got a B natural. B flat, remember, there's no valves, but B natural is all 3. Okay, or if you had fourth valve, it'd be these 2. But let's worry about this for now. You've got first, second, third valve for the B natural there. So in the second measure, it's going to be C, first and third valve, and then B, and then C again. So it's actually not all that hard once you get into it. The third measure, you have a D natural. Okay, you're used to D natural. Just remember this one's D natural, not D flat like all the other ones are. So be careful. D natural. You've got an E natural in the third measure, also middle valve. And then in the fourth measure, you've got an F sharp. That's 2 and 3, second and third valve. Okay, so be careful about that. On that last measure, it's going to be G, F sharp, G, B, A flat. Okay, at the very end. Then, coming back down, the last line, you've got the same exact notes just coming back down the scale. So you've still got the F sharp, you've still got the E natural, and then another E flat, by the way, in the second measure on the second line. Okay, in the third measure, you've got a B natural, as well as one B flat. Okay, so be careful, ha, 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 ha. And then in the last measure, you've got an A natural middle valve, and then an A flat on the very last note. So there is a little bit of finger twisting here. Actually, it's not so much finger twisting as brain twisting. If you need to go through and write in some of these notes to remind yourself, that's totally fine. And again, focus your energy, practice your trouble spots, go really super slow motion. That's the key to getting all these things down. The key to good practice is slow motion, focusing your energy, and doing it a little bit every day. Consistency of practice. We are what we repeatedly do. Excellence, therefore, is not an act, but a habit. You need to do it every day if you're going to get good at something. Okay? So, number 5. Sorry about that. I forgot to use my fourth valve in that second to last measure. I'm going to do the last 2 measures one more time, just to show you the real way to do it on a 3-valve euphonium. It's actually a lot better in a lot of cases to have that 3-valve as opposed to the fourth valve. The fourth valve on these Yamahas and on a lot of what's called intermediate instruments comes right here on your pinky. And of course, your pinky is the least smart finger on your hand, so it's not a great way to use it. On professional euphoniums, a lot of the time the fourth valve is right here. So there's another valve you push with your index finger on your left hand while you're holding the euphonium, which is the real way to do it, okay? If you ever are looking into getting a 4-valve euphonium, that might be the way you want to go. Okay, they are quite a bit more expensive, which is why I don't have one, by the way. Okay, so any questions, you know my email. Good luck with it.